Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack and
Where's Overwatch 2?
Anyway, hey guys, it's Bro You Whack.
When is Overwatch 2 coming out?
I don't work for Blizzard, so
How come Blizzard didn't give us a release date?
Overwatch
How much
2
is
coming
Overwatch
out
2
this
gonna
year?
be,
How
Bro
come
You
Blizzard
Whack?
didn't
I
give us
still
a
don't know how
release
to
date
download
for
mods in
Overwatch 2?
Minecraft.
Is
Hey,
Overwatch
Bro
2
You Whack,
coming
is
out
Overwatch
this
2
year
gonna
at
be
all?
releasing
Is Overwatch
anytime
2 gonna be
soon?
coming
Is
out
Overwatch
next
2
year?
gonna be
Am I the reason why
my
my parents got a divorce? The worst part about Blizzard not announcing when they plan to release Overwatch 2 is not the fact that we don't know when Overwatch 2 is coming out. No. It's the fact that every single Overwatch content creator is gonna be asked that same question for a whole nother year. And I don't think I can take it anymore. Blizzard, please just give us a release date so I can stop this insanity. So on Friday, many of you guys know, but Blizzard gave us a behind the scenes look at BlizzCon on what they've been working on so far for Overwatch 2. And they only gave us a little taste of everything that they've been working on by giving us just a couple of maps that are gonna be in Overwatch 2, a brand new hero Sojourn, which I do want to make a separate video on, going more into detail about the new DPS hero, and overall just going into the nitty gritty of every little detail that they plan to upgrade, not only that's currently in Overwatch 1, whether it's the cloth on skins or the skins themselves, but also talk about the brand new things like the campaign missions, or specifically the hero missions and the objectives that we're going to be able to play on the PvE side of Overwatch 2. I mean, when I say that Blizzard talked a lot about Overwatch 2 at BlizzCon, they talked a lot about what they're working on in Overwatch 2. And while they did talk a lot about what they're currently working on in Overwatch 2, they forgot to answer the one question that's on everybody's mind. Is Mercy gonna get an official body pill? When can we expect Overwatch 2 to come out? What is the release date for this game? When can we expect this sequel for Overwatch? They didn't give us anything. At the very end of the behind the scenes look of Overwatch 2 panel, we were all anticipating a release date to be slapped on the screen saying this is when you can expect Overwatch 2 to come out. And instead of doing that, Blizzard kind of vaguely said, hey, even we don't know when the sequel is coming out, by saying we can have a fun night of Overwatch 2 in-house right now, but to make it the perfect sequel in a game that we know you will love, we need more time to work on it. And that's kind of admirable for a developer to say that to the community, saying, hey, listen, we know we can rush this game out, but that's not what we do. So we're going to take more time and to make it a really good sequel so that you can enjoy it at home and feel like you're not cheated out of not only your time and money. The only problem with that is we're impatient, Blizzard. Like, it's kind of funny because we know so much about Overwatch 2, or at least we think we know so much about Overwatch 2 and what's to come, but the one thing that's probably the simplest thing to give to your community is the one thing you're holding out on, which is why every single Overwatch player is going to be asking the same question for the next at least year, or until the next BlizzCon. When is Overwatch 2 coming out? And that's why I'm making this video. Because I want this to be the kind of video that you send to your friends that are wondering when Overwatch 2 is coming out, but also send this to your friends that are mad and disappointed at Blizzard for not releasing Overwatch 2, or at the very least, a release date. Because if they're not going to take the time to watch the 50-minute panel, or even better yet, watch my 12-minute video where I talk about all the little details, I want this to be the video that explains to them why video games just can't pop up so quick. But while the main idea of this video is to more or less explain why Overwatch 2 is coming out, I did want to give you a rough idea that I at least have for when I expect Overwatch 2 to come out. Because it's no surprise that it's not coming out in 2021. And if you're surprised by that, well, you're probably not in the loop. But they just recently had an earnings meeting where Blizzard said they did not expect Overwatch 2 to come out this year. So a lot of people are being hopeful and kind of expecting 2022. And that's also when I'm hoping and also expecting Overwatch 2 to come out is in the year 2022 for a few reasons. The biggest is that we're gonna have another BlizzCon this year, or at the very least another BlizzCon online, because every single year Blizzard hosts a BlizzCon, but this recent one they replaced it, which was supposed to happen last year in 2020. So having the opportunity to at least plan for this year's BlizzCon, or possibly another BlizzCon online, that can give them an opportunity to plan a release date to unveil it and possibly release it in 2022. But I'm also expecting 2022 to be the year, because Blizzard took 2.5 years to announce announce Blizzard and then fully release it back in 2014 when they unveiled Overwatch to the world, and then they fully released the game in mid-2016. So I think that's going to be the same exact idea where they originally announced it in 2019, and then with the pandemic happening, then they're going to take 3.5 years to officially release Overwatch 2 with the new campaign, with the new story, with the new skins, with new heroes. So much is going to be in Overwatch 2 that, yeah, it's going to take a long time to make, and it just can't simply pop up. And I think that's what a lot of people seem to forget, is that it can't just be at a snap of a finger like, okay, this hero exists, and this skin exists, and this map exists. Because it only takes you 30 seconds of watching the behind the scenes video to understand why the sequel is taking so long. Because within the first 30 seconds, you see an employee of Blizzard or someone working on Overwatch 2 walking in his backyard to either A, get the tracking of Maximilian so that it can be animated within game, or B, get the voice acting right for Maximilian. They're having to work remotely and make a sequel for a video game that is so anticipated that if it doesn't meet people's expectations, the Overwatch franchise is dead. It's done. Like, it's not going anywhere because it failed so many people's expectations, just like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I don't know what it takes to make a video game, but once I saw that single clip of Maximilian and the guy walking, it made me think of all the other aspects that go into making a video game. Whether it's the animation, the voice acting, the map building, the storytelling, the new character development, everything that is going into Overwatch 2 is getting worked on. You name it, it's getting worked on in Overwatch 2. And it's having to be done all remotely, which is why that single clip alone really opened my eyes for Overwatch 2, because every single employee is having to do it from home. They don't have their big beefy computers. They can't just go down the hall to Greg and say, hey, do you like this idea? No, they have to do it over Zoom, and then they have to get the equipment to their house. It's a big mess. But Blizzard is making it work. But that's only one aspect as to why we probably don't have a release date, because Blizzard doesn't know how easy it is to make a video game from home, and I'm guessing it's not that easy. So why would they have a release date for us if they don't know if they're going to be able to meet that deadline? Would you rather get disappointed by them having to delay it, or them not tell us a release date, and then when they do, they meet that release date? I want to believe that the latter is a little bit more appealing. But not even just working remotely at home. If you also look at the gun sounds, which it was also at that moment that made me realize, wow, they're really looking at every single detail in Overwatch and upgrading it. They have to travel around the world to get the right gun sounds to echo, because they're upgrading the sounds to when you shoot inside and indoors and in rural areas. And I really don't want this to be another video where I talk about all the things that they're updating, because I already have a separate video that goes into detail, but it really is important to understand what they are working on so that you can appreciate the efforts and the lengths that they're going to even improve the multiplayer, which, in case you guys don't know, the multiplayer aspect of Overwatch 2 is gonna be free, assuming that you already have a copy of Overwatch. You still have to pay for Overwatch to get the multiplayer, but you know what I mean. They're not gonna make you pay for Sojourn, they're not gonna make you pay for the new classic skins, they're not gonna make you pay for the new multiplayer maps, no. But then when you look at the campaign, which I don't think the campaign is gonna be free, there's also another question some people are wondering, well, how much is the Overwatch 2 story gonna be? And people are already making assumptions of the Overwatch 2 price tag, saying, oh, it's gonna be $40, it's gonna be $60, it's gonna be $80, which none of that is true. I mean, Blizzard hasn't announced a release date and a price tag, so until they come out by saying whatever Overwatch 2 is gonna be, it could be free for all we know. I doubt it though, because once you watch the videos and you realize everything that Overwatch 2 is gonna be, you soon realize it's gonna be a true sequel, even though it's still not necessarily a true sequel, because it's gonna have the same Overwatch 1 multiplayer feel, just with a new campaign, new maps, new gun sounds, new map effects, new heroes, new abilities. Like, so much is brand new that it might as well be a sequel, but it's still gonna have the same multiplayer feel that we fell in love with back in 2016. That's what a lot of people were fearful of when they first saw Overwatch 2, was that it was just gonna be a copy and paste with a brand new coat of paint. And if I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, that's what I was also fearful of too. When I first played Overwatch 2, yeah, it was fun, it was great to play the new push game mode on the new Toronto map, but it still felt like Overwatch just with a new UI. Like, I can play this game back at home. Yeah, maybe not with all these pretty colors and new skins, but it doesn't really feel all that different. And from the looks of it, it's gonna be different, but it's gonna keep all the good things of Overwatch 1. The fun multiplayer aspect. But what Overwatch 2 is gonna bring is something for everybody. Think of this like Thanksgiving, but instead of just dry turkey, you literally have every single good food that you could ever want from Thanksgiving. Maybe that is just sliced ham, or maybe that's the whole entire buffet. You're gonna get that in Overwatch 2, and they can't make it a good buffet if they rush the chefs to make the food. And I feel like at this point, I just literally went on like an 8-minute rant that basically said, be patient, Overwatch 2 is gonna be good, but it can't be good if you rush it. And we've seen that a lot with previous video games. But I'm very excited for Overwatch 2, but I wanna know what you're most excited for. Is it gonna be the brand new heroes, which at this point, I'm gonna have high expectations and think that there's gonna be a whole lineup of heroes, like 5 or 6 heroes. Are you excited to see the new maps and see where you're gonna be playing on? Because we only saw 2, but there's gonna be a bunch more. What about the gun sounds? Are you excited for the campaign missions? What about the new enemies that you can fight? If all this is surprising, like, whoa, Overwatch 2 is gonna have all that? Really, go watch my video that talks about all the brand new things that Overwatch 2 has to offer. You will be surprised how much this game is gonna have. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.